And welcome to another week of Pro Wrestling Smoke. You know I am Cameron Silver Champ as I go warm my coffee. And you know that this wonderful podcast is brought to you by PassDat Apparel, which you can find on PassDat Inhalation Partners, on T Public, as well as SmokeKind.com, the king of THCa vapes, edibles, single rolls, and so forth. Legal weed that'll be mailed straight to your door, and Smokers Lounge approved. How y'all doing today? What a fucking weekend of wrestling. Let me go grab my coffee because we got a lot to discuss. And to me, if you're a wrestling fan, you enjoyed it because you had a lot of it. Saturday was jam packed. Because see, me, I watch a lot of wrestling. All right, I watch the wrestling on YouTube. I watch Memphis wrestling. I watch EPW in Mississippi. And then of course you had Worlds Collide, and then after Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank, and then after that, War Chamber from MLW. I sat back and watched that, and I'm just gonna sit here and say, okay, I'm sorry, the worst War Chamber that MLW has done, which a breaking up of the what's called Rogue Horsemen, which is their clique that Balor put together, which is another innovation of the Horsemen. Before that was the Extreme Horsemen. Anyway, I digress. Let's begin with Worlds Collide, because Worlds Collide was on YouTube. Now, of course, coming out, the news was not Vikingo versus Chad Gable, which was a great match. It was about Mr. Iguana. Now, for all you people that talk junk about Orange Cassidy, who I told y'all a long time ago was going to be a star, shut up. Mr. Iguana is of the same ilk as Orange Cassidy. The guy can go as a wrestler. I like his gimmick. The shit was funny as fuck when, I think, what was it, Lince Dorado beat up Mr. Iguana's Iguana, you know. And what I like about Worlds Collide is that, one, I love Conan, because Conan gave you a historical look into Lucha Libre. And on top of that, let's keep it 100, he is the Mexican version of JR. You know, period. And now, do he need to do color commentary moving forward? Not really. Conan is a great book, but I don't consider him the greatest of color commentators. Mm-hmm. He had no excitement about him with some of these moves that these motherfuckers were doing. Like, Corey, if it wasn't for Corey, that would have been the boringest commentary I ever seen in my life. But I love Conan. I love me some Conan. We did see a few legends. We did see Blue Demon, Latin Lover, which I remember him or what have you. But you didn't see any of the other ones too tough. And what you saw was the young generation of AAA, which I was telling y'all, and I was stating, there's going to be a youth movement in AAA. Some of them old heads is not going to stay around AAA once WWE really dig themselves in, you know, period. But if this is what is going to, but what's funny was when I sat back and looked at it, it was AAA with a WWE spin, you know, period. Trust me, if you watch the shows that they actually, the matches that they put on versus what we saw the other day, it's not, it's different. But Mr. Iguana really was a standout. For American audience, which, okay, WWE love making it seem like nobody ever saw Vikingo before stateside. He has been on AEW, he's been on TNA, he's been on MLW. But the WWE Universe, which acts like there's no other wrestler in the world, got introduced to Vikingo. And Vikingo, El Hijo de Vikingo, son of the Viking. See why he is the face of AAA. The dude is a beast. Now, what's funny is, no one wants to say it, Chad Gable had to wrestle his match. You can see a couple of botches here and there throughout the show, which I hate to tell y'all that's part of it, especially one where Vikingo was trying to do a move where he kicked Chad Gable and tried to flip up onto the top rope, but wasn't able to do it because I guess the condensation, it was sweaty, it was slippery, so he had to readjust. But the real question is, why did they post this on YouTube? Why did you have, of course, Corey on commentary as well as your boy? And this is the first time that I saw that WWE did a show that had more AAA, they had more of the promotion than their promotion. Because understand this, everybody that wrestled, except for Chad Gable, was connected to AAA in some way. Escobar was El Fantasma, and he was there, El Fantasma, the son of the Phantom. And he was a former, AAA Cruiserweight Heavyweight Champion and Latin America Champion. And one of their top stars for a very long time, period. Angel, the Garzas, come on, people. You've been my generation. You remember the Garza. You feel me? And I do remember the first Worlds Collide when I first introduced to Matt Barr and as well as Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and so forth. Even before they was pushing the ECW, they eventually came to WCW. But as far as the show itself, it was real good. The women's match was good. Lola Vice did her thing. Of course, Thunder Vicor, she had to pull double duty. Then, of course, we had 2 6-man tags. You had El Fantasma go against the top main event scene of AAA, which was Psycho Clown, Octagon Jr., who ended up getting a match with, Dominic Mysterio later on that night. And, of course, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Wagner. It's Dr. Wagner, not Wagner. Wagner. Because they were trying to make him seem German. And love how they told the story of how Dr. Wagner Jr., the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., does have beef with Psycho Clown, because Psycho Clown, I do remember the match, and I did watch it, defeated Dr. Wagner to take his mask. You feel me? And also throughout the night, they made it important for people to understand the mask, why the mask is so important, why losing the mask is so important, and so forth. And, seeing that was beautiful. Now, my question is, now that you made a point to push AAA, to introduce us to their top talent, and the one that no one thought would get over, Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana got so much over. It was like he had a bigger pop at Money in the Bank now that night than probably the people that was in the show. So my question is, are we going to get a show that's either going to be on YouTube or going to be on Peacock? Now, y'all do remember at one time, WWE had ICW and they had Progress, had regular shows on the network, which introduced us to Progress Wrestling, which I already knew about Progress Wrestling, but I never got the opportunity to watch it. And it turned me on so much that I ended up, spending money to be a part of their streaming service, which is very much worth it. Trust me, that $10 is worth it. Great matches. So I'm smelling that a show is either going to appear on YouTube or it's going to be on Peacock. And the reason why probably 9 out of 10 YouTube. Because we don't get it over here. See, they used to show AAA on Galavision. They don't show on Galavision anymore. So I don't think people in America is able to watch or get AAA unless you're streaming it on their platform. So now you introduce Iguana, which I don't think you're going to put him on the main roster. Now, do we get a AAA show, which would be the smart thing for the Pinas and TKO to do? You didn't have this big show that was apparently sold out very well, got a great reception, great matches. Now you introduce the world of some of their top talent. Now people are going to want to see more of it. How is TKO and WWE going to do that? Are they going to give us a weekly show that's going to be on YouTube? They're going to give us a weekly show that's going to be on you know what I'm saying, Peacock. Are we going to have a Spanish version, which is going to be on the AAA YouTube channel, which still runs to this day, and a American version, which is going to be on the WWE channel? You know, that's the question that, because at some point, the TKO and WWE is going to be producing these shows to give it more of a Americanized, prettied up Hollywood look. I was about to say look, wook. You feel me? Wook. So me personally, I would like to see that. But back to my point, are we going to see Dr. Wagner Jr.? Are we going to see Blue Demon, who still wrestles? Are we going to see Cybernetico? We're going to see El Macias. We're going to see Doc Nueve. And the sect, the dark sect. La sect. You feel me? Conan has been known at Bookable a big part of their storylines. He always have a heel clique, which is made up of gringos, American talent. You feel me? And so I'm wondering how much they're going to change this, because people, you got to realize, you got Triple H and you have Conan. Conan is the Triple H for AAA. He is their top booker. He's been that way for a while. He actually shared the duties for a minute with him and the Vampiro. Vampiro Cállense. You know, the vampire from Canada. Everything, which makes me wonder, they're going to retain Vampiro. You know, like I said, I'm curious what they're going to do with this AAA and why. So, all right. But like I said, as far as the starter came out of that, like I said, it's funny, it's Iguana. Of course, people love Van Kingo, don't get it twisted. But Mr. Iguana was the underlying biggest star. Now, I know Jim Cornette is going to dog this to the T because he hates comedy wrestling. He could not stand Orange Cassidy, which a lot of people kept saying Orange Cassidy was a breakout star. Yeah, he is. Still is. You know what I'm saying? And who sell more merch than him? He got people dressing up as Halloween, you know, on Halloween as, you know, Orange Cassidy. Now, funny, the company that does have a knack to do comedy wrestling now has probably one of the most comedic wrestlers on AAA, Mr. Iguana, which apparently Mr. Iguana must have been big because he was on this show. Now, unfortunately, they didn't have any of the Estelas, which is the as you would say, the wrestlers who are the act real feminine or, you know, sissiest. You feel me? They didn't have that on the show. They did mention their midgets, their little people. So I'm curious, are they going to have them guys wrestle? Because you had, you know, a whole bunch of the Estrellas was not even, you know, brought in. Now, for some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. These are the wrestlers that there are men that somewhat act like women. Okay. And there's a couple of them which I grew up watching. And trust me, they way more vicious. Oh, God, man. And they didn't have none of them on the show. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do the AAA show when they actually do it and when they air it here. Because I do remember back in the day, I think AAA did have a deal with WWE at one point for Super Estrella, which was Superstars, which is the Spanish version, which it invoked many of the Hispanic superstars that was on WWE at the time and getting those show to be in Mexico. But it didn't last long. It was pretty good, but it didn't last long. I remember Estes Rios, and Lita was his valet. That's when we first were introduced to Lita. I thought Lita was straight up Hispanic. Who knew? So that show's great. I was definitely looking forward to see Mr. Mr. Iguana. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. I'm just hoping that y'all don't take his pop and the popularity he got. Y'all try to put this nigga on NXT or put him on the main roster. No. Keep him on AAA. Let AAA be his home. Also, I'm gonna be real with you. If you know, I'm gonna be real with you. All these guys that was wrestling that want WWE is right now being watched by TKO to be brought to WWE to be on the main roster. Now, will we see Vankingo a lot? Yes. You will see the Mega Campion a lot. Funny how AAA is getting on the main roster and TNA can't even get sniffed. We didn't even have a TNA wrestler on the show, even though we had an NXT title match, which was a North American title match, which was a barn burner. You feel me? And Javon Evans, shouts out to my brother from North Carolina, you know what I'm saying, a.k.a. Jay Malachi, showed he could run with these damn luchadors, and I would love to see him challenge for a belt or two down in AAA. They're just me. But even's a beast, man. Even Paige, Phoenix, but if you notice, a lot of these cats, they are looking at probably bringing to the main roster. You know, now and with Psycho, can we see Psycho Clown on the main roster? I'm gonna be real. Some of them guys, personally, I don't want to see them bring up nobody for the main roster on AAA. If you want to do something, since y'all bought AAA, give AAA his own show. I don't give a fuck it's on Tubi. I don't give a fuck it's on Prime. I don't give a fuck. Give it its own show. Let's not sit here and take some of these guys and bring them on Raw. Because what you're going to do is you're going to kill the promotion before you even get to use it. There need to be a distinct, clear difference. In other words, AAA should not be a fucking training ground. AAA should be held in the same regards as any other promotion. See, y'all took NXT. Y'all wanted to make it like a third brand, but then you take your top wrestlers from NXT and bring them to the main brand. But we wrong for saying this is developmental promotion. Y'all want to sit here and say AEW developmental? No, it's not. NXT is. AAA is not developmental. No. And they should not treat it as such. And it would be highly disrespectful to AAA, to the legends, to the legacy of AAA if they treat it as such. Just my opinion. So now, so obviously big news. I've heard that Cedric Alexander is going to be signing with TNA. And wow. I was looking forward to seeing him whip the Hurt Business, but maybe this is better for him. You know, Ango, the Ango show, which is on YouTube, I listen to him a lot as well as many other guys, was the only motherfucker that mentioned this. I can see it wouldn't hurt if him going to TNA. I just find it funny you're going to TNA, and TNA is in partnership with NXT. So practically you left. You got released from WWE to go practically to the developmental brand for WWE. But TNA, I'm happy for my man. Him being at TNA, I hope that they really put a strap on him. I would love to see him become the X Division champion, and at some point even become the TNA World Champion. Do I hate that he's not going to be with the Hurt Syndicate? Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing that again. But it is what it is, you know. Shouts out to Cedric Alexander. I wish you the best, man. Do your thing up in TNA, man. I'll be honest with you, WWE did not know what they had in you and the talent that you was. And they didn't use you as they should. So there you go. Now, let's go to Money in the motherfucking bank, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all Naomi was going to win. Give me my flowers. Give me my respect. As I like my blunt. I told you, Negroes. That Naomi was going to win. Why did I say this? Because she had the most interesting story if she has the Money in the bank. She got beef with Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill, right? She has a whole new character as Unhinged. And her having that briefcase is going to make for great storyline. Because let's be real, right? You got it's safe to say either Jay Cargill or Bianca Belair by some time of SummerSlam will become the women's champ. Who better than the person who was a former friend of both of them to come and spoil the party and become world champ and cash that thing in? The women's match was pretty good. It was the old heads versus the new heads for the most part. The standout, of course, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne, she is the future of the WWE women's division. Let's stop playing. Her and Stephanie Vercure, they are the future. Okay. And then on the ethnic side thing, I say Miss Jada Parker and Callie Armstrong. I digress. All right. So, of course, the ladder was used, a lot of good spots, a lot of possibility of different feuds within that women's division. But like I said, I am happy that Trinity Fatu, who was emotional and almost broke character talking to Big E, but then got back in the character like, fuck y'all, where was y'all when I got them and I needed that shit? Fuck y'all. I don't need it. I don't need you to tell me I deserve it. But yeah, because she had a long road. She got, let's look at it. She got released, went to TNA, became the TNA champion, got brought back, practically was the old head in the young head storyline. And what I mean is she became the bitter old bitch to the young girls, Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair. They practically rehashed the Magnum TA and Mr. Wrestling 2 storyline with tits. What it was that Mr. Wrestling 2 was brought to lead the territory. They needed a feud to elevate Magnum TA. At first, the thought was, this is what I heard, the Magnum TA was going to become a heel. They said no. Because they were going to have him turn on Mr. Wrestling. Like, no. Magnum TA will get way more sympathy than Mr. Wrestling 2. Use Mr. Wrestling 2. He already wearing a mask. He's old. He's grumpy. Who better? Same thing. They probably thought, which one of these two is going to be the one that turn heel, right? Can't do Bianca Belair because Bianca Belair your biggest face. Jane Cargill is your new face. Hey, she's the stick it to AEW bitch. Yeah. Just like Mariah May, when they brought her in immediately, she's right now in the world. She's in the NXT Women's title hunt, right? Straight off the box. Why? Because she's a former AEW Women's Champion who took a pay cut to come to WWE. Not mad at her. You know, hey. She said, I'll take a pay cut to go there. Fuck that million. I'll do the shit for 250 grand a year. Because she wants to be a star. She feels that she have a bigger chance of being a star and getting in the movies and getting on television because, yeah, she's a pretty ass girl. But AEW lost Mariah May but gained Tekla, which I'll get to that in a second. Because, yeah, we had to also talk about Fyter Fest. All right. Now, of course, we can't have our sticky to AEW girl be a heel. So who's best? Naomi. When the last time we saw Naomi as a heel? I do not ever remember Naomi being a heel at no time during her wrestling career. She's doing a bang-up job as a heel. Made sense to put that suitcase on her. Now, of course, we had Becky Lynch versus Liv Valkyria. I thought Liv Valkyria was going to win because Bayley was going to interfere. No. Laugh out loud. The man wins. Of course, they made Liv Valkyria look like something in the loss. So she did get buried. She got beaten by the same way that she didn't beat Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch outsmarted her. Of course, part of the deal was Becky had to get her hand raised by her, but then Becky wanted to be a bitch and said, no, put the belt on me. And Liv Valkyria got there and gave her a nice little finish maneuver and a fuck you walking out the door. So, of course, like someone said, at least the door open for a rematch because I'm pretty sure she's going to invoke a rematch and we got Evolution coming up. I'm curious to see when they're going to bring Bayley back. And I see that apparently the Intercontinental title is going to be pretty much the focus of that feud, along with the hatred between the two. Now, sure, Valkyria took the loss. We should have known because when she said she couldn't challenge for the Intercontinental, when Becky said if she loses, she can't challenge for the Intercontinental title. We should have known that she was going to win. Because anytime when you hear that, and this is the second title match, 9 times, and hold on, the person that's challenging that says that is the more main event wrestler. 9 times out of 10, the more main event wrestler is going to win it. Now, some of you people that feel that Becky didn't need the title, no, the title needed Becky. This is the Women's Intercontinental title. The United States Women's title, I think, took a step down when Zelina Vega became champ. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I love Zelina Vega. I find her fine as hell. I think she's a good wrestler. But her status brought down the U.S. title. Chelsea Green was okay for a first champion. But if you don't have a second champion, you need somebody a little bit more elevated up the card than Zelina Vega. I don't mind Zelina Vega having the belt or being a transitional champion. But trust me, that's why it's funny how Julia is apparently going to be the woman, that's going to challenge for that. And it wouldn't surprise me if Julia wins it. Now, I know what you're saying, well, how is it that Julia can elevate the U.S. title more so than Zelina Vega? Julia is technically the bigger name in WWE, unfortunately. Think about it. How long was she in NXT? How many times you saw a woman go to NXT and then within like 3 months, that ass is on the main roster? Very rare. Look how long it took them to get Roxanne Perez. Julia and Stephanie Vaquero won't even be in here for less than a half a year, and they're right now on the main roster. They're talking about Jordan Grace possibly going to the main roster. So, yeah, if Julia becomes a U.S. champion, it'll probably elevate the belt more than when Zelina has it. Sorry. So, once again, Liv Valkyria, you want to establish, okay, she's one of the girls we're going to be pushing on the main roster. But we need somebody and a feud to elevate the Intercontinental title. Now, did this feud elevate the Intercontinental title? Yes. But with the Bayley versus Becky Lynch feud elevate that U.S. title more? Yes. Yes, it will. So there you go. And then of course, what was it? The Intercontinental title was on the line. We already know. Rey Mysterio wins. There you go. Very good match between him and Octagon Jr. I believe that they're really looking at Octagon Jr. to bring him to the main roster. Because I do believe that Rey Mysterio, as well as Conan, is going to have a lot of say-so when it comes to talent in Mexico. So somebody definitely said, no. We need Octagon Jr. to be on that main roster. And it's funny how they made it a point to say how he looks with the Rey Mysterio and this, and Dominic Mysterio, which people, y'all do realize they know each other, they done hung with each other, they done played with each other, you know what I'm saying? Might even trained a little bit with each other. So this was to one, get the AAA influence on the main show, and to introduce Octagon Jr. and the AAA luchador style. It was a good match. Of course, Dominic wins. So, of course, we're going to see more of the breakup of the Judgment Day. I think it's going to splinter into two factors. I think it's going to be Rey Mysterio and his crew against Judgment Day, which is going to end up being Finn Balor and your boy and Roxanne Perez. So the question is, who is going to be the other guy for Dominic, since we don't have Carlito anymore? I'm just saying. So I'm curious. And then, of course, the men's Money in the Bank. Very good match. Okay, first of all, Chad Gable, El Grande Americano. We already know about to happen with this. It's funny as fuck. It takes him wearing a mask to actually get a title run. That ain't involving the tag title. Because everyone knows that apparently he's going to have a match against Vikingo, and he's going to beat Vikingo to become the Mega Champion. Now, I know a lot of people are going to sit there and say, oh, his storyline, he's going to disgrace the this, that, and the third. Well, yeah. You do realize the Mexicans use the reverse thing with the American shit. The bad American coming to Mexico to take our titles and desecrate our wrestling. That's the oldest storyline on AAA. Let's be real, people. Let's talk about the history of that Mega Championship. You know how many gringos done held that motherfucker? The only thing they ain't held that bitch is a black man. I'm going to say it again. A lot of motherfuckers, gringos, done held the Mega Champion. Became Mega Champion. Now nigga done held that bitch. And we done been down in Mexico. See, so you understand this. But I digress because this ain't a racial thing. But yeah. Now, I'm just going to say this. TKO, if y'all don't put the world title on Chad Gable in the next 2 years, y'all don't know talent. This guy is going to give you great matches, great promos. He makes for a great heel or can even be a great face. Because it wouldn't surprise me that at some point, after his initial run with this El Grande Americano and him becoming Mega Champion, El Grande Americano ends up becoming a face. I see it. He becomes well loved. People want to see Chad as that. You know, period. Chad actually, it's funny because if you really watch his matches, you see the Chad Gable, but then you see a Grande Americano when he's with the mask, he wrestles differently with some Chad Gable mixed in. But he wrestles as if he's a luchador. He wrestles like God damn it. what's the name of that dude? The luchador on CMLL. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. But anyway, he wrestles as a luchador that got technical skills. So I'm pretty. Oh, and if you notice, they also promoted Triple Mania. God dang it! Maybe I jumped the horse a little bit. We'll get back to AAA in a second, because yeah, we'll get back to that. But nonetheless, that was a good match. Jacob Fatu, which surprised me, but I like that he did it here. Made his turn. So people can understand what happened. At some point, the Deadly Alliance decided they want to come help their leader. As you see, he's about to get that briefcase, and they're about to grab Solo. The bloodline appears. Jacob and JC Mateo. After it's all said and done, Jacob Fatu and Solo is the only one standing. Solo goes up the ladder to get the briefcase. Jacob grabs his foot and says, "Solo, I hate you," and decimates Solo, which eventually leads to LOL, Seth Rollins get the suitcase. Now, everyone's expecting Seth Rollins to cash it in on Monday after the match with Gunther, where Jey Uso retains against Gunther. And he becomes the world champion. I don't see that happening. I see he is going to try to cash it in, but CM Punk and Sami Zayn interferes. And throughout the whole show, you're going to see, I'm predicting this, the Dangerous Alliance try to take out Sami and CM Punk so that nobody can come help Jay. And what's going to end up happening is he's going to think that he got Jay dead to rights and about to cash it in, and all of a sudden CM Punk comes out of nowhere and attacks him and beat the shit out of him. The worst case is if he does cash it in, it looks like he's about to win, and CM Punk interferes in the match. Because trust me, the perfect time for that cash in would be after the match with Gunther. You feel me? So that way we expect it. Now, me personally, excuse me, I think y'all missing the fool's gold. I know what y'all think. What do you mean, Bob? I don't think he's going to cash it in on Jay. I think he's going to cash in on Cody. Cody at some point got to win the belt back. At some point, Cody is going to face John Cena. It's obvious. John Cena got to October, right? So we supposed to see John Cena hold the belt till October. And you about to have your top babyface, the guy who he beat to get the belt, face him at SummerSlam. Wait a second. No, because he can't face him at SummerSlam. If it announces that he faces him at SummerSlam, then they kind of give away their hand with King of the Ring. Because the winner will face his presumptive champion. And we don't know who's in the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring. Rhea Ripley would definitely be in the Queen of the Ring. Now, I got as well as Jay Cargill. It wouldn't surprise me if Jay Cargill and Rhea Ripley be in the finals. I could be predicting something there, but I digress. I think he's going to cash in on Cody. Your biggest money match, other than Roman and him, is also Cody himself. Do you understand the storyline compass? Think about it. We all thinking he gonna cash it in tomorrow night. He don't. He holds it. He said, I'm waiting for the right time opportunity. He don't even make it seem anything that's going on with the John Cena shit. He might even come out and tell John Cena, he'd be like, dude, I'm guaranteed to I can come cash in on you. The night comes with John Cena and Cody has their match. Cody wins. Now, either while Cody is going up the ramp or Cody gets jumped after the match with his back turned. And your boy cashes in and gets the belt from Cody. Well, I say that'll be a more interesting option than him cashing in on Jey Uso. That's the belt that Roman Reigns has held. It's the top title in the WWE. The World Heavyweight title has always been the secondary title. World title. I'm sorry. Even with John Cena holding it, it was still considered a secondary title. Only reason why it was elevated to first status because John Cena had it when he had it. The WWE title, the longest lineage within the WWE lineage. The Undisputed title, Universal, all this is the top belt. If John Cena felt that the heavyweight belt was top, he would have went for that one. He don't even want it. He wants Logan Paul to have it. Think about this. What, as an asshole, why wouldn't you want both belts? If you want to destroy wrestling, why not have both the top belts of that promotion? Put these out. Save this. No. Let me make this clear. John Cena don't even want that belt. So it would make sense. Oh, and did we forget Paul Heyman? Everything ties to Cody's belt. So it would make sense. And add to it, now you got to put Cody, Punk, and Roman going after Seth and them. At the same token, Roman wants that belt back. Cody wants that belt back. CM Punk wants to be the man to take the belt off of him. The only way I see John Cena walking out of SummerSlam with the title is if they're gonna give it to CM Punk and your boy cashing in on CM Punk. I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, I think the real target is Cody. So now, which leads us to the Cody Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena tag match. The biggest highlight, of course, R-Truth, which when I saw whoever jumped into the ring and attacked, and I saw the shirt lift up and it was a fake dark-skinned guy, I said, that's R-Truth. Actually, I was like, I'm thinking someone coming in to attack Cody. First thought I would have thought was Travis Scott if they attacked Cody. But when the person jumped in the ring and attacked John Cena, and then I saw it was a black man, I said, they must have paid R-Truth for a one-night appearance. It must have paid R-Truth for a one-night appearance. Oh, my God. It was beautiful. I really, 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 really enjoyed. I got to say it was 4 out of 5. It was 4.5 out of 5 for me. Worlds Collide to me was, y'all gonna say I'm crazy. I give it 5 out of 5, man, because Worlds Collide really showed you the essence of Lucha Libre. It shows you the essence of AAA. It shows you the essence of Mexico. Don't get it twisted. When you see AEW do they shit down in CMLL at the Arena Mexico for Grand Slam Mexico, if you notice, let's have a real conversation. Lucha Libre is now starting to blow up in America. Now, Lucha Libre has always been around. We've seen the wrestlers. We know some of their legends because we done watched them on ECW, WCW, WWE, CMLL, and so forth, right? But you never saw a CMLL show. I had the pleasure of watching them on Galavision, right? And yes, I know who these fuckers is. I know what a Rudo is. I know what a Techno is. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know about their titles. Like, we covered the heavyweight belt. They covered the smaller titles. CMLL Top's title, believe it or not, is their welterweight belt. Yeah, the heavyweight champion ain't even the main eventer. Think about it. AAA is the only one that's more Americanized where they got the Mega Champion, aka Big Champ, which was not their first belt. Their first belt was the heavyweight title. You feel what I'm saying? And then of course they got the cruiserweight title. They got the Latin American Championship. At one point they had the Mexican title. It's AAA. Their history is rich. It's not as rich as CMLL because CMLL was the only one for the longest. See, period. So trust me on this. AAA has been around. Y'all remember AAA shit even in NWA days. Porque el brazo Vampiro Caliente Conan. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you seeing with the advertisements on the rings, they were doing that in Mexico. You know how long I saw a Corona sign in the middle of the ring in Triple Mania? We late to the party. TKO said, let me tell you what TKO did. They sat back and they looked at AAA. They looked at CMLL. And they sat there and said, wait a second. Is that a Corona advertisement in the middle of that ring? Is that a advertisement for some cupcakes? The Mexicans was doing it already, bro. So TKO saw that shit, and guess what they did? Let's do it. Advertise dollars. Money. I just saw a video of Joe Budden with the CEO of Prize Picks. Advertisements, baby. That's where the money is in podcasting. Advertising. If you can get somebody that's going to spend money to let you talk about their product or post their product or put up their product, what can I say? You understand me? You understand what I'm saying? So understand this when it comes to this business, right? When it comes to this shit, so you can understand this. And then I got to move on real quick because I got shit to do. I know everyone gonna be like, damn, did they got to have advertising everywhere? Yes, because AAA job is to run the wrestling. TKO is to make the money. Simple as that. No, I believe that Triple H wanted to get rid of R-Truth? No. Let me tell you how it works. The people look at the budget, look at the contracts, look at the lineage, look at who's doing this and who's doing that, and then they make a suggestion or give a list to Triple H, and then Triple H has to pick out that list which needs to go. They might be like, you need 2 people out of this list. They give them 30. We need half of this cut. So don't think, even if Triple H makes a decision, it's not an easy decision to make, because he was a wrestler himself at one point. He has been on the chopping block himself at one point. So now I understand that they signed a new contract with him as Ron Killings. Interesting. Now, the question is, what are they going to do with him moving forward? He had a lot of interest from the independents. So I'm wondering, is they going to give him a contract to where he can go work with the independents? Yeah, I do some WWE shit, but no, motherfucker, I want to go out here and work with some of the independents. Is this going to be a deal where he becomes a producer? He works behind it, because I would love to see him mentor some of these cats, especially the black wrestlers coming up. Especially the black wrestlers that are coming up in the game. I would love to see him there to mentor them. That's why I'm glad Ty's on there. That's why I'm glad Big E is there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not in the ring anymore, but they're there to give these guys directions. Because if you notice, a lot of brothers and sisters are right now in the WWE. I'm sitting here seeing a main event in NXT. I am waiting for the day that we have an all-black WrestleMania main event. Can we get it, please? Can we get it, please? All black. I'm not talking no one black dude, 2 white boys. No, all nothing but niggerage. Head nigga in charge, match, main event. We might get a full Samoan one very soon. But no, we want all nigga. All nigga. I keep hearing, bro, and it's going to be, what about Obafemi? Javon Evans? Trick Williams? Yeah, let's oh, can we get that? We got a women's main event. Can we get an all-black main event? I'm just saying. Hashtag Black WrestleMania main event, please. Now, let's talk about AEW. They had 4 hours straight Fyter Fest. Now, for some of y'all people, it wasn't an actual pay-per-view. It was a big special event. It was 2 shows, 1 night. First half was Dynamite. Second half was Collision. Now, apparently, for some of you people, Collision normally comes on a Saturday. So probably what happened was, for some apparent reason, they couldn't put it on a Saturday. They couldn't put it on a Thursday. So they thought it would make sense to do 2 shows in 1 night. And they're doing the same thing this coming week, this coming Wednesday. So we have Okada and Kenny Omega. Okay, people. Wink, wink. Duh. Can we not act like this was not a surprise? Y'all been screaming, they need to get rid of one of the belts. And Kenny Omega got he got a belt, and Okada got a belt. Y'all, whoever win it they should combine it. So what is it? Continental and International, right? I think that's what it is. What they gonna call it? It sounds like the Intercontinental title to me. Oh, I wonder, did they trademark it? Because I don't know any other company that got a Intercontinental champion. They have an international, you have an open weight, you have a national, you know. Yeah, I don't think you need the United States championship. You can use the United States tag titles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious what this is going to be. What they going to call it? Intercontinental open weight? What yeah, let's not say that for a second. He's the Continental champion, all right? Okada. Kid is in the international champion, right? You gonna have him hold 2 belts? Did anyone think about this? But anyway, that's supposed to go down all in. So we saw the interaction with them, the Fatal 4-Way, which was a very good match. I'm looking forward to that match big time because I did see, I think what this is their third match. And the first one on US soil. They're a little bit older. Do I think this match is going to be as good as the previous two? No, I don't think so. Because it don't have the same gravitas as as one did and even as two. But I'm just curious what they're gonna do with the belts. He's just gonna walk around with 2 belts, or they're gonna call it Intercontinental belt. They're gonna make a whole new belt and say this is gonna be the belt, and, you know, or they're gonna call it Continental International title. I'm like, what the fuck? The CIT out this bitch, the kid. Hey, this is the kid. I don't know. We're getting Hurt Business trios as well as MJF pushing for pushing towards getting his Triple B back, becoming the world champ again. I think who they supposed to? They supposed to go against trios. Well, they probably have a good trio. Yeah, Speedball, and we all know they're going to win that match. I'm curious to see how the match is going to end this week. Is it going to be tension between Bobby and MJF? Because it feels like that's something they're building to. Now, the question is, how far down we talking about they're going to build this to? Because at some point, Bobby going to have to become the AEW champion. Let's just be realistic. Can we be realistic? How can you not put the belt on that big, strong black motherfucker? And what? So, you think so? But anyway, for right now, I think what they're gonna do is build up the Hurt Syndicate with these 3, and then I guess, of course, set up. Like I said before, I'm curious to see where this is headed. Are they going to have them with the trios titles at some point when they go against the Ops? Ooh. Paragon. I mean, I digress. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this. You know, would I like to see MJF with another title run? Yeah. So, well, that main event card gonna be stacked soon. Of course, we still got the world title match coming up. With Mox, with the suitcase versus. I just love the suitcase shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I kind of begin. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. I like the fact that he's hiding the world title. He don't want the world to see the shit. He so forth and so forth, right? So, all right. But I like also the interwoven story of the reluctancy of Swerve and your boy to work together, and how much Osprey is trying to get these guys together so that they can defeat Mox and get the belt off Mox. And we about to have a match between him and Swerve today. I mean, Swerve Wednesday. So I'm going to be sitting down, glued in my seat to watch that shit. There's going to be some 5-star shit. But it's going to be a moment where they're going to be forced to have to work with each other. And then, like I said again, I'm wondering when we're going to get the Young Bucks versus Osprey and Swerve. That's what I'm waiting on, because because we're still missing a match in 8 and All In where the Young Bucks get their asses handed to them. So, and we're not talking about, Mayhem in the Arena, whatever they want to call it. But I like the storytelling with that. But the thing is, they can't become buddies. It's a reluctancy and just because I want to make sure that just because I want to make sure that I have a fair fight, I'll deal with you for right now. But understand, after this over, it's still me and you, motherfucker. Ain't shit changed. The enemy of my enemy is my motherfucking friend. Frenemies, long enough. Let me tell y'all something right now. I'm smelling the Crew becoming tag champs at some point. Also, FTR. Where are they building them to? Because the reason why I say that is I think the Hurt Business is tweeners. So if they're tweeners, are you building this up for them to go against FTR? Because ultimately that got to go down. And I'm thinking about All In because we don't have a tag title match set for All In. So could our tag title match be FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate? And the storyline of MJF had history with FTR and Stokely Halfway. See how these stories becoming interwoven. I have if that would ultimately hit, please get off Tony Khan's dick. Get off his dick. He's figuring it out. Because WWE counter program and everything that they fucking doing is making his ass got to work with these storylines. And the storylines are being good. We have the women's tag team division somewhere still shaping up as we saw this week. We have, of course, Mercedes Moné. We still hitting the bill for the women's title match. I find that interesting. That the bill for that. So far, like I said, I mean, I'm not. It wasn't a lot that really stuck out to me. Of course, Don Callis family. I'm sorry, I forgot about them. AKA the Hart family. Because they that deep, like Memphis Hart family. They that deep. Because you got Bandito and the Outrunners who stay loose to them guys. And then we got Paragon and Garcia. You got 3 different factions, 2 different factions fighting against one faction in just different parts of the faction. So I'm assuming that the TNT title will be up for grabs with Kyle Fletcher versus Adam Cole. And actually, Adam Cole, I think, might actually end up losing that belt. I just got to. Kyle Fletcher's due to have a title around his waist. Because one, it can't be just the Kesha. The Kesha is the never open weight champion for New Japan. At some point, he's gonna drop that. You know, I got a feeling he might drop that at Forbidden Door because we still have Forbidden Door down the line, and no match has been announced for that yet. So, I'm curious about what's gonna happen with the TBS title if Mercedes Moné wins the women's championship. And like I said, and I wonder when the women's title is going to be implemented. I got a feeling the women's tag team title will be crowned at All In. Because like I said, we still have a lot of matches that have not been announced, you know, period. But yeah, a lot of people were like, man, 4 hours is too long. But it like this. TNT, TBS, or whomever that runs it, Warner Brothers was like, we need y'all to do all this on one night. He had no choice. What are you gonna do? Tell him no. And two, y'all just sit here and watch fucking WrestleMania. Oh, and by the way, this is for free, so you have to pay for the shit. So, but I'm looking forward to this week to see what we're gonna get and the whole nine. And to me, the match is going to be that Swerve versus Ospreay. I'm looking forward to that. So, for some of you people for War Games, the Road Horseman is broken up. Apparently, the young blonde boy gotten Brock face at, you know what I'm saying, Brock Anderson, and let's just say Brock knocked the shit out of his ass. But anyway. Nothing major happened on that show. They still furthering the possibility of the cash-in of Mod Kruger on the King of Bros, Matt Riddle, because Matt Riddle the champ right now. Plus Dijak or what have you. I think Shotzi, independent wise, I think she had a match where she was blooded like a motherfucker at Game Changing Wrestling. So, we're going to start seeing a lot of people that have been released pop up. So be on the lookout at that. Also, on the Evolve Championship side of things, the new champion, shouts out to North Carolina own Jackson Drake, a.k.a. the Carolina Reaper. You know what I'm saying? From the Vandy Project. So he won a wonderful 4-way elimination to win the title. I figured it was going to be him and Sean Legacy. He was going to be your top talent who who is due a North American championship match, which we're going to hear about that this coming Tuesday. Or the guy that is a part of your top heel clique. So, and what was so beautiful about it with Javon Evans, who came up with him, there's matches of these two against each other for 5-Star Pro Wrestling, which is right now on YouTube. Y'all go check it out. Please put some respect in North Carolina independent set, you know what I'm saying, independent community, independent wrestling community. IWC is booming. Was there to pass him the title. I should have known that he was going to win because Javon Evans said, I'm going to be the guy that's going to present the title to the first champion. And because these two know each other, they ran with each other, they rapped with each other, they came up with each other, they trained with each other, they grew up with each other in this business. Who fitted in to pass the title to Jackson than his homie? So, we have an Evolve champion. We have, you know, Callie Armstrong, the women's champion. Some point, the announcement for the tag titles. So I'm curious because we got Cappuccino with Cartwheel. You got The Rise. Of course, Vandy Project. They got rid of Gallus, so they don't have any of. I can't think of any other tag team unless they do like 2 makeshift tag teams. Carver, Keona Carver, that shocked me because I was surprised that he didn't at least make it to the final 2. But and Dofe, he got put out first, so I see something with that young man at some point. So I'm curious to see how Evolve going to work out with their with their you know what I'm saying, with going forward now, how their main event roster is going to be set up and so forth. So look, I got to shut this down because I got things I need to do. I got a show coming up. I got to run to the store and all that good stuff. So thank you for enjoying and listening to my wrestling punditry. Thank you for checking out Pro Wrestling Smoke. I'll be back next week to talk about Fyter Fest and the aftermath of Money in the Bank. So you know how we eat these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this. Over.